Thank you all for taking time from your busy schedules to be here. We're very, very proud of what's going on in McAllen ISD today. It's another example of the hard work that goes into making things happen. As you know, we have some students here that have done a tremendous job in the area of science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, specifically looking at how photosynthesis works in outer space. So we're very, very excited that our students here have been awarded or given the opportunity to take their experiment into space. Just a little bit of facts on there is we've had more than 1,500 students that took part in the endeavor in one way or another, and 300 plus were able to submit proposals, and we have McAllen ISD students here that were able to get their experiment into space. We also had 1,200 who were in the mission patch design. So we have National Merit Scholar finalists. We have some scientists here that are going to be taking experiments into space. We have artists that are designing patches for their spaceflight. We have outstanding teachers that make it happen. We have parents here that are supporting that. So in McAllen ISD, it's one big family, it's one team approach, and this is a testament. This is a testament to all the great things that are going on in our district. So I do want to thank everybody in McAllen ISD. I do want to thank everybody in McAllen, Texas, City of McAllen, all the teachers, and everyone else.
This project actually started fall of 2015. So I remember the first press conference we had back in the fall of 2015, and a year and a half later almost, we're here today to actually get ready for our experiment to launch. And our patches also are actually already waiting to get launched on a separate rocket. So once those patches return, they will be unique to our community. So the patch here that's displayed right now is the high school competition patch, and I'd like for Ms. Saldivar to speak on the patch competition more in depth, as she spearheaded the initiative on that. So I'll pass that to her first. Ms. Saldivar.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Saenz-Saldivar, and I'm the art coach for McAllen ISD. And when Jeanette brought this to me and started explaining the whole patch competition, we were really excited and we got on board. We actually had about 1,200 students participate, and we were just three shy of 1,900 entries. It was a lot of work trying to decide which one was going to be the winner after so many entries, but luckily we had 3 judges and I did not have to decide. And I would like Grace to talk about her design and the concept behind it, and then I would like Travis to decide on to talk about his.
So I decided to use Dia de los Muertos, the sugar skull, to represent going into outer space. So as the eyes, I did rockets to represent the solar system and the experiment that we have going on, to form the face along with the Earth.
And what we can see here is the Earth, obviously, in the background. And in front we have an atom. And this atom basically symbolizes the science of our school, of our world. And the Earth is basically a metaphor for all the cultures in our world, and how science really unifies everything.
The question that we're trying to answer is the effect of the perchlorate ion on the growth of tomato seeds, as well as the effects of microgravity on the growth of tomato seeds. And what really inspired this was the question of how we were going to, how us as a world, as NASA, how we were going to be able to sustain a human colony on Mars. That's a question that it's getting more real as time progresses, and more and more people are looking into it. So we wanted to see for ourselves, and we wanted to address this question that was very real in the scientific community.
Yeah, around the time that we were asked to complete this proposal, NASA had just recently discovered water on Mars. So we used that as the basis for our experiment, because we wanted to test how seeds can grow on Mars, and we used Martian simulated soil that we ordered from Hawaii. So it's taken from a volcano from Hawaii that is in similar conditions as to the soil in Mars. So we just thought that since it was related to something in the real world, that we would take it into our classroom and into our proposal, and we would see if we as students from McAllen ISD could answer this question that's going to affect so many lives in the future.
Yeah, so after all this brainstorming, we actually had to put together the proposal, which turned out to be about 16 pages, and it culminated over a 6-week period, so it was a lot of intense research, and a lot of, we presented our ideas to different panels, and ultimately we presented our research at the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. this summer, so that was a great experience for us.
These are the ground trials, so these are the controls that are going to, they're gonna tell us exactly, these are the controls, so we can compare the seeds that grew on Earth to the seeds that grew on Mars. And so, as you can see, this tube, it's 10 milliliters, and it's divided into 3 sections. On one section, we have the soil, and the second section in the middle, we have water, and in the third section, we have fixative. So these are clamps that are separating the sections, but the experiments that are going to take place here and the experiments that are going to take place on the International Space Station, what the astronauts are going to do is that they're going to remove one of the clamps, and then they're going to shake the content so that the soil can mix with the water. And then after a determined period of time, they're going to remove the second clamp, and then that's going to mix the seeds that hopefully will have germinated into a plant, at least a seedling. And then it's going to mix those seedlings with the fixative that is going to freeze any growth so that when the seeds return to Earth, we can see what effects microgravity had on them.
Yeah, so in total, we're going to have 5 trials. So 1 is in space, and then we have 4 here. And the reason why we have so much is because obviously we can't isolate the variable of microgravity here on Earth. So we just want to try as hard as we can to isolate as many variables as we can so that when the seeds come back from the International Space Station, we can really see the effects of the perchlorate ion and microgravity on the germination of seeds. So we just have to analyze a lot of data basically so that we can answer our question.
So although we've done a lot so far, there's still much to be done. In March, we're going to be examining our experiment that returned from space and comparing it to the results of this. So, and writing another paper on our findings. So a lot more ahead for us.
And it's been such a pleasure to get to know them and to watch them grow as their teacher, to work with them over 2 years on a project has been just really an amazing experience. And I feel very confident that wherever they go to college, they're going to continue to do amazing things and really be the change that we want to see in the world. Well, I have to say that I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I think that in school it's very easy to be in your own classroom working on this unit and this worksheet, and to step out of that and to have the students working on real world problems. When I think about what my goals are as a teacher, my goals are to prepare students to solve real world problems. And that's what they're doing here. One of the biggest challenges was when this tube goes to the International Space Station, it's going to be in the dark. So how do we study plants? How do we study plants in the dark, right? So that it was a really relevant and unique solution that these students came up to the research question. But personally, when I think about my life and I think about what my colleagues do and what people I respect in our world do, they solve unstructured, ambiguous problems. They look at the data and they come up with solutions, they test them out, they evaluate those solutions, and then they try again. And that's what we're asking these students to do. We're not asking them to bubble in an A, B, C, D answer. We're asking them to solve real problems and use critical thinking skills. And I'm very grateful to my colleagues, not only in math and science, but also in all of the subjects, because these students are fantastic communicators. They're very knowledgeable. They understand not just the science and math of what they're doing, but they also are caring individuals who want to use that science to help others, as you can hear from them, the careers that they're interested in. So these are global citizens, and I'm so proud of them.
Thank you all so much for being critical thinkers. To our artists, thank you so much for being creative, because we know that it's these opportunities that you're facing as youngsters that are going to help you along the way. And whether you're hypothesizing on what's going to happen with tomato seeds in Mars, or whether you're coming up with a cure for cancer in the future, we know that it's this mindset and this ability to think critically, this ability to hypothesize and to follow procedures and draw conclusions and analyze data and never give up. That's going to make all the difference in the world. And we know that great schools have great teachers. And once again, I want to thank Ms. Nickstad and everyone else for doing everything that they do with students on a day-to-day. But more than anything, it's about the students, and we're so proud of you all. Thank you all so much.
You know, I just want to start by saying this is a great honor. We're really, really excited about where this is going to take us. But I think more than it just being an honor, I think it's a testament to the kind of teaching that we've gotten as students. You know, I think McAllen ISD really has something special, that we have great and fantastic teachers that really encourage their students. And I have no doubt that that's what enabled us to get this far.
I agree with Gabriel. Our teachers have been great here in McAllen ISD. I think that is one of the main factors that has enabled us to do what we've been able to do. And I think that, we just keep working hard and we stay focused. And, hopefully we're excited. Hopefully we'll be chosen as National Merit Scholars within the next few months.